This is Dr. Weinmiller. I'm going to go over the first assignment that you will complete online for this course. Let's take a look at the syllabus first. So if you scroll to the main menu, left click on syllabus, the syllabus link will pop up. If you left click on that, and you probably have done this already, there's the syllabus. It's in PDF format, so you could download it or print it directly from Blackboard. Under the course description and goals, there's some information, but we're going to scroll down here to your grade. Course evaluation is based on a midterm for 35%, the final exam 35%, mapper identification quizzes 20%, and then blog and discussions 10%. I urge you to read the syllabus thoroughly and understand how this course will be graded. Below that, we have the test schedule. Here's mapper identification quizzes. You're going to be completing the first map quiz on June 19th. So on June 19th, I will make available the map quiz, and it'll be available from 12:01 a.m. on the 19th until 11:30 p.m. on the same day. You will be taking it on Respondus, so there's a limited amount of time that you can take it, and it will be a controlled setting. You won't be able to navigate to any other web pages. You're going to have your webcam on. You'll pan the room first, pan your keyboard first, and then set up your webcam so I can see your smiling face and your fingers clicking on the keyboard. So remember that it's available on the 19th from 12:01 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. Don't plan to jump online in Blackboard and open up Respondus and try and complete this exam at 11:15 p.m. on the 19th. It will shut down on you. So this accounts for, this particular map quiz will account for 5% of your grade. So if you blow it off and don't take it, you're already starting at a 95. Let's go back now to the main page. We're going to click on content to the left. Content right now has one item in it. It's the study guide for Map Quiz 1, which will be on Sub-Saharan Africa. Many of you won't even have your textbook, so this study guide has everything you need to study for this map quiz and successfully complete the assignment. I would have to tell you that the majority of students I've ever taught in this class, and I've taught it for a long time, it's been a couple of years since I've taught it though, get hundreds on these map quizzes because it's simply rote memorization with a spatial perspective. So let's left click on this. Here's, once again, is a PDF. You can download it or you can print it out. Sub-Saharan Africa Map Quiz Study Guide. There are only countries and some physical features about the continent. Sub-Saharan means that it's below the Sahara Desert. It's the area below the Sahara Desert on the continent of Africa. Here's your countries that you have to know where they belong on a map. Angola, Guinea, so on, Rwanda. Below that, you'll find the physical features listed. Only these countries and only these physical features may appear on the map quiz. You don't know until you open up the map quiz and complete the examination. So study and know them all well. I'm sure, dead sure, hopefully, most of you know where the Atlantic Ocean is. It's on the western side of the continent, and the Indian Ocean is on the eastern side. So that's sort of a no-brainer. Many of you may know where the Nile River is. Well, Drakensberg Mountains, maybe, maybe not. Zambezi River, maybe not. Great Escarpment, and so on. So you'll have the opportunity to study the maps that contain that information. On page 3, there is what geographers call a base map. A base map just shows political boundaries and probably some major physical features like rivers, and that's all this has. When you see this, the next time after you study, this will have, first of all, it will be rotated 90 degrees clockwise so you can read it. And it will have, for example, a number right in the center of a political boundary of the area of a particular country. If it's a country, if I'm asking for the country, generally the number is centered in that area, so it'll be centered right in here, and it does not have a suffix. If I'm looking for a political, or I'm sorry, a physical feature, I will have a number here, and it'll have a P suffix behind it, and for example, it might point to that river right there. If it's a mountain range, it's difficult to illustrate those on base maps. Your base map will have a number, perhaps here, with a P behind it, and I'll be looking for, I'll have two lines that run from there to there, and that particular indicates that this physical feature runs along here, and that would be the Nami Desert. So that's what the map quiz will appear like. Every question, there are 25 multiple choice with 4 alternative answers. You will have this map with 25 numbers. Some of them have suffixes, some of them don't. That's what you're going to see on the map quiz in Blackboard in Respondus. Page 4 includes a political map. Political map simply shows country names and their boundaries, and they're generally colored. This is actually a thematic map, percent of persons infected with HIV ages 15 to 49. I don't see any date on there, but this is an older map. But this is where you can locate all the country names and correspond them to these blank white spaces on the base map. Okay, so there's where you study your country names. If you scroll down to page 5, this is a physical map that shows the Nami Desert. It shows the Great Escarpment, which runs all the way around the bottom tip of Africa. An escarpment is basically a cliff that drops off onto a coastline. There's the Drakensberg Mountains. The rivers are named. Also, the countries are named, but there's the Zambezi River. You're going to have to look a little closely. There's the White Nile and the Nile, and so on and so forth. So this is where you study these items, the physical features. This map right here is where you study these items, the countries. Know them well, study it well, and you'll do fine on this test. The test has, I believe, a timeout of 60 minutes for you to complete, and that's about all I have to say about this. If you study well, you get 100%. When you close out the test and save it, you will get your grade right then and there. I would also urge you, as you move through the test, it'll have a map in the upper portion of the question. The question number, you know it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then you look at the map, find the number that corresponds to the question you're on. For example, if you're on question 4, look for 4 in the map. It'll either be 4 or 4P. Look down, there'll be 4 alternatives. You just left click in the radio button and respond to that. I would urge you to save each response. I guess that's about all I can say about this. There'll be some other videos in the near future, and you should make every effort to get your book pretty quickly and start reading that as well. So for now, enjoy your studies. There'll be some other videos coming up on Blackboard within the next day or two.